My name is Mary Doehla, and I'm the Archivist for the Roman Catholic Diocese of Albany. My job is to collect, organize, preserve, and provide access to the documents and special collections that make up the historical record of the Albany Diocese. I serve them in a couple of different ways. The archives is sort of different from some of the other departments and ministries of the Pastoral Center in that I serve the parishes, I serve the departments and organizations in the diocese, and I serve the general public. But when it comes to the parishes, I typically am interacting with them in relation to sacramental records. So whether it is helping them locate sacramental records for parishioners who may have been, for example, baptized at a church that's no longer open, and trying to figure out where are those records. Answering some of their trickier questions with sacramental record keeping. Whether it's preservation, can I use tape in the register, or there was a mistake when this was originally recorded, how do I record this appropriately, how do I make the changes, things of that nature. I also deal with the parishes when they have questions about their own parish history. The parish records in the archives are not extensive or all-encompassing, but it's surprising what you can find in there. So often when a parish is celebrating a particular anniversary, or just if they just want to know a little bit more information, they might contact me and say, can you give me a list of every pastor who's ever served in our parish? And our parish was established in 1854, so I have to go back and provide that information. The archives also is the location of all the original deeds and mortgages for a lot of the parishes, and also for their articles of incorporation. So a lot of times I get contacted by the parishes because they need a copy of it because they're applying for a loan from a bank, a copy of their article of incorporation, because they're applying for a loan from a bank, or they need to produce it for some other reason. I also work with the parishes in relation to the official Catholic directory, which the Diocese of Albany has to submit updated contact information for every parish and Catholic institution and school within the diocese that qualifies for inclusion because of their tax-exempt status as a religious nonprofit. So I'm sort of the clearinghouse for all those updated forms that come in from all across the diocese, and I have to make sure the information that they have updated gets translated onto this master list that's then submitted to the publishers each year. So those are some of the ways I serve the parishes. The archives is not just a collection of manuscripts or documents, or files or records in paper form. It's also a collection of objects and textiles that have sort of, I think, ended up in the archives over the years. And some of the there's things that are as old as, I think their oldest object dates back to the late 1500s. And it's a religious text. It's a bound book in Latin, and I don't know how it came to be in the archives. I presume it maybe at some point belonged to a previous bishop or a priest, and that's where it stayed, because it certainly wasn't created here in the late 1500s in America, as it didn't exist at that point. But there's other pretty neat stuff. There are papal bulls that have come from Rome, and we have two lead seals that also date to the 1500s, and I think it's Pope Sextus I can't remember the Roman numeral after, and it's not no longer attached to the document that it came with, but it's the actual lead bulla, which it's pretty neat. We have a great photograph, not a collection, but every once in a while I find pictures, when I'm going through the files that really sort of document like the camps that existed in the diocese, the youth camps in the summer and stuff. There's actually pretty good photographic evidence of that when I think of all the different record collections we have. I guess what I would say, the way, being an ambassador of Christ is a really active, present sort of connotation, but I feel like the archives is this permanent collection of the historical record of the diocese, and it's of the Catholic faith community, at least since the diocese was formed in 1847, and even before that. And so when I think of being an ambassador of Christ, the archive sort of represents that history, that shared faith history that we have, and the way the diocese has changed over the years. My job is to sort of preserve those changes and when they took place, preserve that information about it so that we can learn more about, from our past and what the diocese has done in the past and what our faith communities have done in the past, what the parishes have done in the past, to move forward to maybe be even better ambassadors for Christ.